back to the channel. So guys, this subject that I'm on is not dumpster diving, but it is survival kind of stuff. And I really hesitated about even talking about it because, you know, just everything that's going on in the world. Who needs any more stress? But it's not about stress. It's about being prepared and caring about your family. And to me, y'all are family. And so I could keep the information to myself and, you know, say, oh, well, if they didn't go out and figure out things themselves. But I'm not like that. And so I did want to talk to y'all today. I'm going to try to keep it as simple and not as long. I don't want to be a dragged out video, but I want to talk about some serious stuff. And so, yeah. Like I said, I kind of hesitated on doing a video like this because it's not dumpster diving and that kind of thing. But I think it's important to be wise of what's going on in the world and to have yourself prepared. I'm in a different place. I'm in the living room today doing this video, but it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful day, and it's been a while since we had a beautiful day. I actually went weed-eat the yard. It was just that beautiful today. So, but it's been on my mind. I have been watching so many videos of different YouTubers, and I'm like, okay. So let me get to the subject, because you're like, Cynthia, what are you talking about? Why are you just sitting up here running your mouth and you're not saying what it is so I can know if I need to click off? Okay. Please don't click off the video until at least 15 minutes. No. Anyway, you're going to do what you're going to do. Give me a thumbs up if you're leaving out the door now. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about being prepared. Are you prepared? Okay. And yes, everybody knows what's going on in other countries and all that kind of stuff. Yes. So yeah, it's kind of on that subject of just being prepared. And I know on my channel, I have a lot of older people as myself that are on, you know, watch dumpster diving videos. But it also, when we're doing dumpster diving stuff, we're getting supplies. We are getting things to help our family, to help people around us, to help, you know, donate. So anyway, I want to kind of bring up, like I said, preparing. When we had the freeze last year in Texas, and I'll put some clips in if I can while I'm talking so you can kind of know, you know, things we went through. So we went through this freeze. We were not prepared. Like, Texas was not prepared because we didn't know our electricity was going to go off. We was like, okay, it's going to be cold. We knew some cold weather was coming in, but we didn't know that they was going to cut off our electricity. I'm not saying the weather cut it off, but the hired people cut off our electricity and we didn't have any. We were not ready for the cold. We wasn't prepared on how to keep ourselves warm. So everybody and their mama were running to YouTube or whatever, you know, way that they had to find out information on how to survive in the winter. You know, this winter frozen stuff that we had, right? So a lot of people up north start saying, hey, Texas, this is how you handle stuff, whatever. We didn't have, because our electricity, we didn't have water, so we had to use whatever means to get hold to water. People was flushing the toilets with water from the ponds and rivers, and we lived in a pool. We lived in an apartment with a pool, and we were literally climbing over fences and getting water for we can have some water and, you know, to flush toilets and things like that. Very primitive. We was not used to that, but everybody was on this like, oh my gosh, I gotta survive. And another thing is, guys, when that happened, so many people lost food, including myself. I mean, the food went bad. And people were thinking, we're going to get FEMA in, we're going to get some kind of help, they're going to do some reimbursements. None of that happened, y'all. Like, we didn't get any money to come in. There was no federal trucks come in to give us food, nothing. It was just like, oh, well, if I didn't know anything about dumpster diving, we wouldn't have survived. Seriously, on food wise, you know, I was able to go dumpster diving, and I'll put in clips of that. When people were throwing stuff out at the stores were just throwing all their food out because they didn't have electricity, but it was still cold and frozen food. That was what me and my family survived on. That is what I still have in my deep freezer today. And the reason why I have a deep freezer, because of that happening thing. Just a scenario. What if you get a knock on the door and they say you have 5-10 minutes to get your stuff together and leave your home? That you have to leave. You don't have a choice, that you got to leave. Do you have your stuff all in one bag, one area? Do you know what you need to take with you and grab with you in that time? Or will you be running around your house frantic, trying to say, oh, I need to grab my medicines, and oh, I might need some tissue, and you know, that's where your bug out bag, which I have talked about in many other videos before, about having a bug out bag, being prepared. I usually carry one in the summer because you never know. If you get stranded somewhere, you need to be able to have some items with you. So I always carry it in my car. I need to redo my bag, so that might be a video that I will do. But anyway, so if you had to, would you be able to get all your stuff together? Now, I know a lot of y'all dumpster divers like, oh yeah, I got all this stuff and provided this. But do we have all our stuff organized and put in one area? Because, yeah, I can say, yeah, I got a sewing kit, and yeah, I got some gauze if I needed that, or yeah. But could I have it all together and ready to go out the door? No. You know? Another thing, I remember back when we had Hurricane Rita here. And guys, kid you not, that a place I was headed to go and meet up with my mom now. This is the scenario that I had to deal with. Okay, so it took me 9 hours to get to my mom, and I was hoping, because everyone was finna head to Dallas, because I had a cousin up there that had space for all of us to come. So I was hoping that the time I got to my mom's, that no one had left, or she hadn't left yet, because I didn't think I was going to them. I thought I was going somewhere else, and then my phone got cut off and I couldn't tell her. So I was just praying with me and my 2 little kids that we was going to be able to make it to my mom in time before they left. And thank God when I got there that they were at my aunt's house, and we was able to go, which took us an extra 9 hours to get to Dallas, which it shouldn't even took that long. It should only been like 4 or 5 hours. It took us 9 more hours. So just know that it was such an exhausting time going, very stressful. And I think about the people that are dealing with this war, and when everybody was trying to evacuate, and so it was that gridlock. People were having to get out of their cars and just walk if they wanted to get out of the city. That just gave me flashbacks to that time. It was something I never, ever want to experience ever in my life again. But again, like I was saying, about being prepared, y'all, because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. We trust that we're safe, that, you know, this is going to all work its way out and we'll be fine and we can go on in our American way of living and doing things. But if it doesn't, are you prepared? Now, I have watched a lot of prepping videos. I done watched survival videos and all this kind of stuff. And lately I have been watching a lot more of that because I know it's things that I myself don't know or how to handle things. Now, I was a Girl Scout leader for 5 years, so I learned a lot of like survival in the, wilderness kind of, stuff to do. But just everyday scenarios of, I can't give you an example, but I know I don't know everything, so I like to watch videos so I can learn. So it's just like, say, if somebody from up north that's never dealt with hurricanes or things like that, or never dealt with tornadoes, or, then they wouldn't know how to handle it down here or how we handle it, because they're like, why would you live somewhere where hurricanes will come? It take a long time before a hurricane just gets here. Tornadoes, they happen all the time, not so much like other areas in other states or whatever, but yeah, we have them. But like earthquakes or that kind of stuff like California have, or like tsunamis in other areas, I would not know how to deal with that. I wouldn't be knowledgeable at all in that. So it's good to get wisdom and to learn things and to be prepared. As we see, all the prices right now, guys, is up. Like for our gas right now, it's $3.13 for cash to pay at the pump, and it was $3.25 if you use your card. Most people use their card. They don't have cash on them. Speaking of cash, that is another thing to be able to have on you, because that's what was happening over there in the other country. They needed money to be able to get gas and get supplies and be able to get out of there. Well, they were in long lines, and a lot of banks are going to be like, hey, everybody trying to take their money out. It might be a little harder to do. You might be at a limit. Speaking of limits, guys, do y'all remember with all the stuff that was happening during the freeze? And these are me talking to my Texas people and people down south. You remember we were limited on how much tissue we can get, how much eggs, milk. It was like one per family, one, the rationed. The stuff was rationed. And that's what I fear that is going to be happening again. So while you can now get things, that doesn't mean, okay, so say you're on a fixed income, because you're like, Cynthia, I'm on Social Security, I'm on a whittler's pay, pension, or whatever it is. So I have this small means to survive. What I'm saying is, if you can do one thing, maybe one can a week, maybe you find the green beans or 2 for $1, so you'll be able to get 2 cans of green beans to add to your stockpile area, or add to stuff like that. If you can get a pack of tissue, an extra pack of tissue, put that aside. Small things like that. I'm not saying go to the store and buy up everything, because oh my gosh, we don't need that kind of craziness going on. But you also want to be prepared. You don't want to wait until they're limiting you or raising the prices of products, which that has been lingering around, and it's been said many times that our gas prices are going to go up, and so is our goods and services. So goods and services, meaning our food, how much things going to cost for us to get done. So be prepared means get what you can. Don't go hoard it all up, but make sure that you have enough for you and your family. Make sure that you have water, some necessities that you need in your home, you know, because they might be higher later, right? Yeah, we just want to be prepared. I don't want to do no scare tactic. I don't want you to be like, take me to the store because Cynthia, I have a purpose, said go and get stuff. No, don't get crazy at the store. But I'm just saying, just knowledge and wisdom on your purchases. Maybe, you know, if you're getting one loaf of bread, maybe get two. If you can put one in the deep freezer or in your freezer. Say you don't have a deep freezer, you have a freezer. You can thaw out bread. You can freeze milk. You can freeze eggs. There's so many things you can freeze, and I know a lot of y'all know that because my grandma, rest in peace, I love my mama, but anytime we wanted anything, she'd be like, baby, y'all want a sandwich? Y'all want, you know, we like, yeah, mama, yeah. Well, go and get the bread out the deep freezer, the meat out the deep freezer. We're like, what? Everything went in there. Because that's how you preserve stuff. You put it in, man, everything would be in that deep freezer. So I think you can pretty much freeze anything. And be smart on purchases. Don't be frivolous with your money and say, you know, I need, well, you know, I got my income tax, because a lot of y'all are about to get income tax. And buying stuff you don't really need. Like, if you have no electricity, all this big screen TVs and all the latest gadgets, it's not going to help you. It's just going to be sitting there looking like, you can't turn me on, you know, right? So just be wise. So maybe stash a little bit of your cash aside somewhere to say, hey, if we need to only pay by cash, if for some reason that our grid is down and we can't use electronic stuff, I'm hitting this thing. If we can't use our electronics, we can still be able to use cash money, because most people will take cash money. You know, you're able to barter some stuff. If you have some extra beans or some rice or things that you can think of, I'm sure y'all can put things in the comments to tell me some things that you can barter with or what you can do. Another thing is what you're able to do is a way of bartering. So say you're a carpenter, or say you're a handyman, or say, you know, you can do plumbing, or you can sew, or you can crochet, or you can knit. Those things, you know, people are going to still need that. If stores are closed, come on, guys. Y'all remember when we had to shut down and lockdown and all this kind of stuff, and you couldn't go to the restaurants and go and get your favorite burger or fries and all that, and you had to cook at home. And when you couldn't go into the stores and go and buy you some clothes, all those places were closed. If the store shut down, can you still survive at home? Can you still be able to make ends meet? That's what I'm kind of saying. Anyway, I feel a little better. Do y'all feel a little better? I feel better because I feel like if I didn't say anything, then I was setting people up for failure on things. And, you know, I take this platform very seriously. And so when something is on my heart, and like I said, I debated on this because I'm like, oh, you know, people ain't going to take this well. But you know what? There is going to be some people that do take this well and do take some heed to it and say, hey, maybe I do need to watch a couple of videos. And I'll link some down below. Some I have been watching. And like I said, this is not to freak you out. This is not to get you all stressed and worried and got to go get some anxiety pills. No, it's not none of that. It's just to be knowledgeable of our surroundings, know what's going on in the world. We can't be ostriches, y'all. Don't be an ostrich. Don't stick your hand in the ground and say, okay, it'll just pass and everything will be okay and we'll click our heels 3 times and we'll be back in Kansas. No offense to Kansas. But what I'm saying is, let's be prepared, okay? So I love y'all. Y'all make sure that you do what you need to do for your family. And like I said, I'll do a video with my bug out bag because I do need to refresh it and go through and see what's all up in there. And I'll do a quick video on that another time. But just know that I love y'all. Thank you for being on here. If you're still on here, put bug out in the comments. I want to know how many people actually stay there. Stay to the end of this video. Put bug out in the comments. And I love y'all. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.